Time now for the Morning Rush. Taking a live look at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C., where in just hours the funeral for former President George H.W. Bush is set to get underway. The 41st president's body continues to lie in state inside the Capitol Rotunda. When the services get underway, we expect a very formal and personal service honoring the life of the former commander-in-chief. During the funeral services for the late president, his son, former President George W. Bush, is expected to deliver a eulogy. All 5 living presidents will be in attendance, as well as dignitaries from around the world. A second funeral service is expected in Texas tomorrow. Kristen.
Mostly sunny with high clouds streaming over this state today. We won't see any rain or snow yet. However, once we transition into tomorrow, you can see the rain and snow starting to break out over western and central New Mexico. This is likely to continue late Thursday into Friday. Crystal?
Today, we're expecting to learn more information on the raid done by the New Mexico Attorney General's office on the LOBO Club. Here's what we know so far about this. According to the AG's office, a search warrant was served Tuesday at the club's office near the Dreamstyle Stadium. Right now, the office is continuing to call the action a, quote, highly active investigation into financial transactions at UNM. The LOBO Club is a nonprofit organization that raises funds for student-athlete scholarships and for facilities.
This morning, an investigation continues into a crash leaving a passenger dead. According to officials, it happened southeast of Carlsbad. Officers say a Tahoe was traveling at a high rate of speed when it rolled, ejecting Sierra Corrales from the vehicle, killing her. Officials say seatbelts did not appear to be in use. There were 8 total occupants in the Tahoe. 3 of the passengers were taken to nearby hospitals.
On to news new at 6. 10 new buses are reportedly being ordered for the ART project. According to the Albuquerque Journal, the city has offered a fleet of 60-foot-long clean diesel buses from New Flyer of America. That's the company that already provides buses for the rapid ride bus routes. You might remember last week the city returned 15 buses from another company, citing a series of problems. That company, BYD, disputes the claims.
New at 6, Santa Fe police are able to monitor surveillance cameras at the city's 2 main public high schools. Now, this was revealed at last night's school board meeting. Right now, police can monitor cameras at Capitol High School and Santa Fe High School. Police Chief Andrew Padilla says it will help law enforcement in case of an emergency. Superintendent Veronica Garcia says they made the change after a mass shooting at a high school in Parkland, Florida, which left 17 people dead.
The governor will have to appoint a replacement for Republican State Senator Carol Lavelle. Lavelle says he decided to retire for health reasons after more than 20 years in office. He represents parts of southeastern New Mexico. The Journal does report the Lee and Eddy County Commissions will nominate possible replacements. The governor will then choose one. Kristen.
Metro Threat Index still at a 2 for some cold morning temperatures we have out there this morning, below freezing, but this afternoon upper 40s with mostly sunny skies on top. Crystal?
Nominations still open for an awards ceremony recognizing people or groups committed to STEM learning. Officials say they need more for the middle and high school student categories. In its second year, the STEMmies honor students, teachers, schools, businesses, and even nonprofits, inspiring others to get involved in STEM. Nominations for the 2019 STEMmies are open through December 14th.
UNM is looking ahead to their spring semester this morning with a focus on boosting enrollment. According to the Albuquerque Journal, fall enrollment slid more than 7% for the university. Now, in hopes of turning that around, UNM set a target enrollment figure of just over 22,000 students. With a month and a half until the spring semester starts, the university is reporting at last check, student registration is just under 69% of that goal. Kristen.
Time now for a check on that morning commute. No major crashes out there, just a little bit of buildup already. Paseo eastbound near 2nd Street. But the Big Eye looks good at the hour. We'll, of course, keep eyes on this for you throughout the morning.
The New Mexico State Aggies are waking up winners this morning, and they are now holding the largest margin of victory ever in the Rio Grande rivalry. The UNM Lobos were looking for redemption last night in Las Cruces. They lost to the Aggies in their first meeting this season, and they could not seem to pull out the win last night either, losing to the Aggies by a record 35 points. Final score 100-65.
Aw, I'm sorry, Lobos.
We're taking you back 46 years ago on this day here in New Mexico. We had strong winds that actually flipped over a mobile home out in Portales. 3 people were injured. Strongest wind gusts that day, 91 miles per hour. 15 homes had roof damage. 20 homes reported broken windows. Alrighty, switching gears now for you to the 5 facts.
At number 5 this morning, a lot of Lobos and a lot of people are talking about the recent matchup between UNM and NMSU. New Mexico State took home the win and is now holding the largest margin of victory ever in the rivalry, defeating UNM by a record 35 points. The final score was 100-65.
Number 4 now, costly changes coming to a new bike and pedestrian crossing in order to keep drivers out. The crossing at 14th and Lomas was installed to link several bicycle boulevards in downtown. Neighbors say cars are using it. The city says it's a problem. They plan to install plastic poles to stop the drivers.
At number 3, quiet, sunny, and warmer today, but the storm drops in tomorrow night. Expect showers to break out Thursday night into Friday. Friday likely that is to be a busy day of wintry mixed showers and cooler temperatures.
And number 2, a New Mexico high school teacher remains on administrative leave this morning after parents raised concerns about his past and possible connections to misconduct allegations in Florida. Michael Johnson is the band teacher at Gallup High and Chief Manuelo Middle School. A concerned parent is questioning if he is the same Michael Johnson featured in a 2017 report from Jacksonville, Florida. Now, that report states that he allegedly had a sexual relationship with a student while employed there. The Gallup-McKinley County Superintendent says the district is looking into those allegations.
Number 1 now, we have video inside the rotunda of our nation's capital here, where the body of President George H.W. Bush continues to lie in state this morning. Today is being declared a national day of mourning. Flags across the nation at half-staff to honor the life of the 41st President of the United States. Later this morning, funeral services for President Bush will begin at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. President Bush's son, former President George W. Bush, is expected to deliver a eulogy. Once again, all 5 living presidents are expected to attend the services. That does include President Trump, former Presidents Obama, Clinton, George W. Bush, and even Carter. A second funeral service is expected in Texas later on tomorrow. We'll continue following the services for you. You can find more details at alwaysonkrqe.com.